Most people think closing the sale is the hardest part of the sale, but they're wrong. In fact, by the time you're trying to close, the customer's already made a decision. What really makes or breaks a sale? It's everything that happens before the close. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is and how to master it so that you never have to worry about it ever again. Before we get into this, I'm Catherine Martin Fisher. I'm a 10X certified business coach. And if you want to learn more about sales without the extra fluff, then consider subscribing because I'm going to be posting every week on what I've learned. So here's the truth. People don't buy because of your product. They buy because of trust. So I want you to pretend this is you. Here's your potential clients. They buy because they feel like you understand them better than anyone else. 80% of the sales happens before you ask for the sale. There needs to be an emotional connection. They need to feel that you understand them. And there has to be a logical explanation. The logical explanation is the product. So we have the product. Here's you, here's your client, here's the product. There needs to be trust. There needs to be a connection. So the connection is the heart connection. Trust is built by showing, not telling. So you want to show the product. So you're showing the product. Humans decide emotionally, they justify logically. That means you need to make them feel safe, seen, and understood before you ever pitch. What builds trust? Listen like a pro. Ask the right questions. Mirroring their language and tone, providing clarity and simplicity. This is the phase most people rush. They want to present instead of diagnose. Sales equals being a doctor, not a pushy salesperson. You may ask, what do I ask? What's the number one challenge holding you back right now? What have you tried already? What would success look like in 90 days from now? I've asked myself this question many a times because each time as you're growing, you have a 90-day stretch and there are targets in those 90 days. So what I love is to be able to ask that question. What would success look like in 90 days from now? Why is now the right time? So what you want is you want to go from the pain, here's the gap, now here's your target. Now, what is it that's holding you back? What the gap is your product. That's the thing that's going to get them to the target. So you have your vision, but then the gap is the product, which takes you to the target of where it is that they're going in those 90 days. So in the 90 days, what's the gap to get them there? A big mistake that a lot of people make is that they jump into the features and the pricing way too early. Best salespeople don't handle objections. They eliminate them before they show up. So what are some common objections? It's too expensive. I need to think about it. Do you realize how many times people say to you, I need to think about it? I need to talk to my partner. That's always a really good one. That's always an excuse because obviously the partner's not there, and then it's easy to say, well, I have to talk to my partner. What you want to do is always ask that question ahead of time because this way you already eliminate those objections because you already know. That's part of being prepared and putting it already in advance out there. You want to include these things early on. Can I share what other people in your shoes often realize by the end of our call? So if you say that in advance, you're already eliminating that objection as well. And then what you want to do is you want to share. So you can say, I can share what other people in your shoes have often realized by the end of the call. This preps their brain to receive new beliefs. You want to build the close into the conversation. If you've done your job up until now, the close becomes easy. You're not closing, you're clarifying. You're helping them make the right decision for themselves, not pushing your agenda. So here's the key close phrases. Based on everything that you've told me, here's what I recommend. How does that sound so far? Want me to show you how that would look? A little tip is you want to get micro yeses throughout the call. Don't wait until the end to gauge where they're at and pitch them. Some people think they're bad at sales because they're not smooth talkers. Let me tell you something. Build everything on consistency. Repeatable sales systems are the best way that you can do that. You want to focus on daily outreach and goals. You want pipeline reviews, follow-up rhythm, note-taking, and CRM. And if for all of those of you who do not know what a CRM is, 74% of businesses do not have one. CRM is a customer relationship management system. If you do not have one, you want to have one. Trust me on this, because that is going to make or break your business in all of the information that you have in one place in order to be successful. Here's an example day. You want to have 4 new conversations a day, 3 follow-ups each day, weekly pipeline cleanup, 15-minute morning mindset check. You want to have a plan each day so that you know what you are striving for. So remember, closing isn't the hard part. It's being present. It's listening. It's doing the hard work of connecting before you pitch. If you master that, closing becomes a natural next step. What I have found is that building that relationship and really building that trust like we started with is going to really help in having that value add that the customer's going to really want to do business with you. If you want to learn more about sales, subscribe, because the next video is going to be even better. Hope to see you there.